Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Lubna. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Nice to see you on here.
Nice to see you too, Sister Sidra.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies. It's Nasheen. How are you?
Walaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, I can see both of you with more confidence, by the way, you and Lubna, and more organized as well.
Well, we have to. The reason is we've been to your talk and you show us how to, public speaking. So
public speaking skills and maybe the confidence lectures help.
The confidence lecture as well. So we have to prove it that we were listening.
Yes, no, you've proved it in so many ways. I mean, you're positioned really nicely today for starters.
Okay.
And Lubna's showing her face. That shows she's confident as well. Yes, really good.
Thank you. Lovely to see you all. Assalamu alaikum, Huda, and everyone else.
Walaikum assalam. Inshallah khair. 2 minutes.
My talk's quite funny. It's quite a unique talk. I've always wanted to do this one, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's really funny. You will find it funny. It's to do with the differences and why they're there and all this.
Why is that? Yeah.
Funny picture and funny stuff. Yeah. Why men do the things they do and why women do the things they do.
Yes, I think I'm gonna have to start my introduction. Thank you so much. May Allah reward you. Jazakallah khair for your time. Jazakallah khairan for coming online. I know you all have a busy schedule, but yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start with the next topic, which is with Sister Sidra Naeem. Men and women, different psychology. What have you got to say about this? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Sister Sidra.
Walaikum assalam, everybody. It's absolutely wonderful to see each other again. And it's really nice, isn't it? Where everybody's together and
lovely
collective audience. It's really great to be here. I have got a fantastic topic with you all to do today, something which I've always wanted to do, actually, which I've never had a chance to do. So your marriage resolution organization has actually helped me to, do that topic today. So I'm very privileged, and I'm going to have 1 hour to do my talk, and we should, inshallah, be able to open up the session for question and answers as well. Right, let me now try and share my screen. Okay, so the topic today is men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That means that they are actually made different to one another. Allah has made us different for a reason, because we are there to complement one another, not to cause conflicts. So if we understand the way a man is and a woman is and the way their brains work, it will help us actually in marriage conflicts. So we will be comparing, contrasting characteristics of couples to cope with conflicts and complement each other. Okay, and those of you who don't know me, I am a qualified teacher, which I have mentioned specifically because in order to teach pupils, boys and girls, in our PGCE training, we learn the different styles of teaching and adjusting our styles of teaching as a consequence of the way girls and boys are, the way they learn as well, and their brains. Okay, I'm also a Muslim chaplain, and that means that within the Muslim community, I deal with a lot of conflicts within marriages and other conflicts. And sometimes I do relate that to, well, hang on a minute, that is the way men are, or hang on a minute, that is the way women are. Okay, right, we are now going to start off with physical appearance first. So we will be looking at brain structure, we will be looking at hormonal differences, but let's look at the physical appearance first. So who can unmute and tell me what is different with men and women in terms of appearance, physical appearance first? Anybody?
Men got more muscle.
Good. That is one, definitely. Anything else?
I'd say the build, sister.
Yeah, we've done the build already. What else?
Okay.
Are they taller than us or shorter?
Height, yeah.
They're bigger. Okay, so let's do that one first. Okay, they are bigger than us. And believe it or not, this is mentioned in the Quran in different contexts. Let's listen.
الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم فالصالحات قانتات حافظات للغيب بما حفظ الله.
Men are taller than us on the whole, okay? Men are the protectors and maintainers of women as, and look at the next sentence, Allah has made one of them to excel the other. Now, obviously, we do know that that means that they spend to support them from their means. We know it's to do with money, but if you look at the explanations, there are other explanations which actually show a different context that they are taller than us, okay? Somebody has also mentioned that they are stronger than us. They are bigger and stronger due to higher testosterone levels. So obviously they are more physical, okay? And there's a reason for that, because Allah has told us in the Quran that they are our maintainers. They are our mahrams. Let's look at that Quranic.
الرجال قوامون على النساء.
So men are the protectors of women. Okay, now in that picture, there's a big, strong man there, husband protecting his wife from a spider. Who do you call when there's a rat or a spider in the house? You call the husband, don't you? Because they're stronger. Any burglars, and you call the husband, go and sort out the burglar. Okay, Superman, the original superhero, was a man, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So they have a natural tendency to protect, which Allah has given them that. They are mehrams, men now, aren't they? Why aren't ladies mehrams? Mehrams are men, husbands, brothers, sons, okay? Dads as well. And also they have to be strong because they are the head of the household in Islam. So there is the man's big, strong hand, and it's actually keeping the strength of the whole family. They're the mother and the child as well. Let's listen to the ayah.
وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ وَاللَّهُ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ.
Women have the same rights against men as men have against them, but men have a degree above them. Allah is all powerful and all wise. That's in Surah Baqarah. Right, we've done the strength and the tallness. Let's look at the physical appearance of men and women. What else is there? Where is there a difference? Everybody should know this. Some of these are easy questions. Anybody else? They're more hairier. Good. Well done. I think that was for Scylla. Yes. Yes. Well done. They are more hairier. Okay. Anything else? That's a very good one. That's the kind of things I'm looking at. Are men darker or fairer than women on the whole?
I think they're darker.
They're darker. No matter what culture you are from, the men are always darker. Okay. And did you know that also extends to animals as well? So women are fairer than men in any culture. And in animals as well. You will see it across the board. And when women are mentioned in terms of hadiths in Jannah, it doesn't talk about men, but it talks about women, that hurs are hairless, and they are very, very fair and brighter complexion. Why is that, everybody? Ever thought about this? Why are men darker than women? Why? There's two reasons why. Anybody?
Is it due to the hormones that they have?
No.
No. Okay.
No. There's two very specific reasons why men are darker than women. So if you're taking the mick out of your husband being dark, it's not good.
They're always outside.
Yes, correct. That's the first one.
Okay.
So men are made to be the providers of the family.
Yes.
Go out and get the living, okay? They earn the living. Original Stone Age men were out there plowing out the land, out in the sunshine. So Allah has given them dark color to protect them against the sun, okay? They also, did you know, have thicker skin. Now, if you look at that diagram, the diagram on the left, look at the epidermis, it's much more thicker, okay? That is to withstand them from the hot temperatures of the sun, and tough skin to work hard in the plowing land, okay? So they don't have any needs for creams and makeup, anti-wrinkle creams. If you look at the collagen bonds in the male skin, look how many more collagen bonds they've got, strong, which means they don't wrinkle as much as women. So they don't need all the beauty treatments, which men cry about all the time, that women are in front of the mirror, you know, for an hour putting their makeup on. Yes, there's a reason, everybody, you men, because we've got thinner skin than you, and we wrinkle more than you, okay? And not only that, did you know that a man's skin is more harder? A woman's skin is more softer, because they don't need hard skin, because their role is mainly in the house from the beginning of time, okay? The other thing somebody mentioned very nicely there, Fasila did, is that if you look at the men's skin, it's got more hair on it. That is to protect it from all outside environment, and also to stop the sweat dripping down their skins as well. And that bit we will talk about in a minute. As the hormonal changes happen, did you know that women's skin deteriorates more as they get older? Whereas if you look at that graph there and you look at the black line, which is the men's skin, it stays more or less the same. It doesn't decrease so down. The reason is men's skin is more harder. It's stronger, okay? And a woman's skin is thinner, okay? Right. Not only that, men's hair is more thicker and more bristlier than a woman's hair, okay? And that is because of two reasons. One, the man is out there, he needs more protection from the sun, and a woman's hair is normally thinner and lighter the fairer they are. The fairer they are, the more thinner their hair will be. If there's any blondes on here, blonde hair is thinner than dark hair. And that's because there's less sun in the colder countries, so they don't need thicker hair. So you can see that with thicker and thinner hair as well, okay? Also, a woman's skin is more beautiful and hair is softer, because in a minute you will find out they're the most attractive species out of the two.
It makes sense because the hair is thicker, it protects them from the elements.
Yes.
So they don't feel the cold as we do.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay, so sweat glands next. That boy is sweating a lot more, okay? Allah has given him more sweat glands because he's supposed to be out in the sun earning the living. So stop complaining, girls, of that smelly, cheesy feet of your husbands, okay? There's a reason why they've got smelly feet, because Allah has given them more sweat glands. Okay, right. The next one is that women, appearance-wise, nobody mentioned this, and I'm quite shocked why you didn't. Women are the more attractive out of the two species, because in the human kingdom, it's women who attract the men. Like flowers, they attract the bees. The men are the bees and we're the flowers, okay? So we have larger eyes than men because we attract men. We have more fat on our bodies due to our hormones. So if you look at us, we do have bigger backsides, bigger chest, bigger hips, everything, all to do with childbearing and also, you know, more fat on our bodies because we're the more attractive of the two species. And if you look at flowers, they are usually colorful to attract the bees, okay? And like that, did you know that women, they will dress in more bright and colorful clothes, okay? Because they tend to dress in brighter colors to attract men for reproduction, okay? So those of you who complain your husband doesn't dress bright enough, or they wear really shoddy clothes, boring clothes, you never dress properly when we go out, they haven't got that natural instinct to dress up. They don't, okay? So we need to stop that nag, okay? The other one, which I find absolutely fascinating, because I definitely see this in my own marriage. Did you know that because of this natural tendency of knowing about colors in women, because of this tendency to dress up more, they have all the different shades they know about. So there you go, look, lime green and scarlet, and that's a teal color, and that's a peacock blue. And the men, if you look on the other side, they only know the colors just by, well, that just looks like a blue to me. So my sitting room is actually teal colored, and when I go out and I buy stuff, my husband doesn't see the teal. He goes, well, that's just blue is blue to me. And I go, no, actually, no, that's not the right shade. That cushion won't match our sofa. It has to have a slight tinge of green. But men don't see that, okay? So we have better color details and matching skills than men. Men are also more colorblind. Now, this is a well-known fact. Men, it's a tendency to be more colorblind. And women are more likely to decorate their houses in bright colors. Whereas a man will turn around and say, why can't you just have it plain white? Okay, I have this in my own house. Why not just paint the walls plain white? And you think, no, I want a splash of color. Okay, so we need to understand all of these things all lead to conflicts. A woman will have a tendency to dress up, okay? Like in the animal kingdom, it's the other way around, and you will get the male birds displaying their big, huge feathers to attract the female. In us, we have a tendency to dress up to attract the men, and we naturally like to dress up, and we like to go out, and we like to do shopping. This is because of this tendency of wanting to dress up, okay? So we are more likely to go out and buy clothes, bright clothes and jewelry. Even the prophets' wives, did you know they loved jewelry and they used to wear gold at home? And men, they don't like shopping because naturally they don't have that instinct to shop, okay? So all of these are important things. The other physical appearance, which women have more, is we like to laugh, okay? So women, they like to laugh because we are the ones who show mating rituals to try and attract the men. So we laugh out more, like a laughing hyena, if you like, in the animal kingdom. And men, you'll find they don't burst out laughing, they will just smile or grin, okay? Now, these are very important tendencies. One, because they are less emotional than we are, which I will come to in a minute. We are much more emotional, we show emotions more. And one, because of this mating ritual where naturally Allah has given us the tendency to laugh more. So if you get a miserable man in the house, you know why? He doesn't have the natural tendency to burst out laughing.
Wow, subhanallah.
Okay, interesting, isn't it?
Very, very interesting.
And this is why, amazingly, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us not to overshow our emotions in public. We're not allowed to laugh out loud in public and, you know, our beautiful voices and all the rest, because we are the most attractive of the two species. We've been told by Allah to not make a wanton display of ourselves with our clothes, yeah, and not laugh out loud. We need to lower our voices and things like that. It's all in the hadiths, and it's all linked with our natural attributes. Okay, right, moving on to our brain structure. That's my next category, the battle of the two brains. You can tell me what the major difference is in our brain structure between men and women. Any ideas?
I think men are more scientific.
Good, that is one, yes. Anything else on the actual brain structure?
And women tend to be more artistic.
Yes, correct, correct. What about the actual brain structure inside the brain?
Oh, got a bigger brain, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
We are more organized.
Yes, we are. Okay, right. I'm going to have to tell you all, you're learning a lot today. This is the main one, okay? A male brain versus a female brain, multitasking. Now look at those neurons, the way they're all connected. A man's brain is more compartmentalized, is the word, okay? And a woman's brain is more connected in different regions. While a woman can bake a cake, talk on the telephone, and at the same time keep an eye on her toddler, the man simply cannot. A male brain is not good at multitasking the way a female brain is. So this is the best way that I can explain it, is through having a railway track. If you look on the left, it's a straight train, goes to one place only. In a wife's brain, there are so many side tracks going through all the side roads and everything, okay? So the male brain is wired from front to back with few connections across the two hemispheres. Women, on the other hand, have more wiring from left to right, so the two hemispheres are more interconnected, okay? And because of this, us women are more organized as well. Why has Allah given women a brain like this? What is the prime reason why we are multitasking and men are not? Why?
Childbearing, and because we're the first teachers of children.
Children
Children,
is
yeah.
the main thing, okay? We're supposed to have lots of children, and when you have to clean the nappies, we've got a hoover, we've got to get the phone, we've got to cook, got to look after the pet cat, okay? All of those things, the need to look after multiple children, okay? Men are not the prime people in Islam to look after the children. Others, why did Allah make us the species out of the two to do the childbearing and the breastfeeding? You have to think about it naturally, okay? I know nowadays, yes, so many ladies are going out to work and men are looking after the children and all the rest. Nothing wrong with that either. But if you naturally look at our roles that Allah has given us in Islam, our brain structure is accustomed for that, okay? So the need to look after multiple children and to do everything else at home, the cooking, the cleaning, the ironing, reading some books, taking the telephone, opening up the letters, the washing baskets there as well, okay? Let me put this video on to show you how much we do. Okay, so sometimes in marriages, men come home, they say, well, what did you do all day? I left you in the morning and you were getting out of bed and I've come home and now you're sitting on the sofa. Yes, that's because the women are tired out. All day they have been doing this, and this. Okay, so they are very, very hard working. And Allah has equipped us to work hard, you know? Okay, now with men, it's different. Okay, with a woman, she can deal with different children saying, I'm hungry, where's my shirt? Is the dinner ready? I can't find my whatever, I'm cold, can I? And a dad, he can't deal with that. He'll just say, where's mum? Go and talk to your mum about it. He cannot deal with too many things going on at the same time because of their brain structure. It's a railway track, one-way railway track, okay? And here's another one. So men find it a lot harder to multitask because of their brains. So there is a much bigger deal to do the same task. A woman may say, why haven't you done the DIY yet? Okay, and a man will say, I'll do it tomorrow. I can't deal with it today because I've already done this today, because he gets tired quicker. Okay, so we have to try and understand they can only do one thing at a time. Okay, so this is actually a very funny picture where the man is doing his work. He just needs to get on with one job at a time. And the boy is saying, Mum, why is that sign there? And the woman said, women work all the time. When men work, they need to put up signs. That's because it's a bigger deal for men when they do a job. It's harder work for them because they've got to put their full concentration all in one job only, like a railway track. Okay? And did you know that because of our fast generating multi skills that we've got of multitasking, we need more sleep. That's right, ladies, we need more sleep. Let's have a look at this video. Very interesting. So stop the nagging, girls. If you've got any husbands who can't do the DIY and do this, that, and the other, you've just seen it for yourself in that video, which is made by a psychiatrist. Okay, right. Now, did you know that multitasking aspect in our brains means that us women can hear 3 times more better than men? Okay, so research indicates that women process messages on both sides of the brain more so than men. Men tend to process more on the left side of the brain, and emotional information is processed on the right side. Okay, this is why women can listen really carefully, and it's the need to listen to all their children. Okay, that's the main thing. They need to listen to all their 5, 6 children, talking to them all at the same time, and they need to recognize high-pitched voices like a baby crying. Okay, so women, they listen better because of this need of children again, and they recognize high-pitched voices more than men do because of this need of going and giving attention to a crying baby who needs milk. Okay. This is why men don't listen, or it appears to you that they're not listening. They probably are not. They cannot do 2 things at the same time, watch the telly and listen to you. So you've got to switch off that telly, and then you look at them in the face, and then you give them one instruction at a time in simplified language, which I will show you why they don't take in too many words in a minute as well. Okay. Okay.
I'm just
and that picture on the left has got 3 ears on it, and that's exactly correct. A woman can hear or listen 3 times more effectively as men. Okay, right. What else is affected because of multitasking for women? the way their brain is structured. Anything else? We've done a hearing. There's another type of sensory thing, which is better in women. Any ideas?
Is it talking?
Oh, talking I haven't got to yet. No. We're looking more at children, why we're better mothers. Okay. What about your sight? Okay. Now, men have tunnel vision. If you look at that man, he only looks ahead of him. Okay. There's a reason for that, because in Stone Age times, he's the provider. He has to go out and hunt for the animals out there. So his vision focuses on one area, which lets him look at far distances better and makes him a better hunter for animals. Okay. This then also means that they can't look inside cupboards and find anything. Because he can only see in front of him and not on the sides. Okay. So if you tell your husband, can you go and get that out of the cupboard? He's not going to be able to find it. You know, because he can't look on the sides, not unless he turns his face. Okay. If you tell him to get something out of the fridge, you can only see in the middle of the fridge, in the center, but not on the sides. Okay. Whereas women, they have peripheral vision. This is because of their multitasking neurons in their brain. Okay. They can see all around in detail. Okay. Why do women have peripheral vision? Who's listening to me? Why do women have peripheral vision? They can look all around them. Why?
For the children.
For the children. There's a child crying over there. There's a child behind you doing homework. There's a child over there who needs his nappy changed. So women have peripheral vision so that they can look all around them, mainly for children. Okay. But men, it doesn't mean that's bad. They got tunnel vision because they have more visual spatial skills. So they are better at map reading. That little boy in that pram is a boy and he's already on Google Maps. Okay. So they have better visual spatial skills. And because of that, boys do better at simulator games and computer games. And they are therefore more likely to be addicted to Xbox games as well. Okay, very, very interesting. And because they have brilliant visual spatial skills and tunnel vision, so they can focus better, they are much better at what else than women? Anything else? Sports.
Okay.
Okay, I know we do have separate women races and things nowadays, but you never see men and women mixed together for sports. Why is that? Because men on the whole are better. And that's a scientific fact. I can provide journals for everything I'm saying today. This is why you will get a female-only cricket team and a male-only cricket team and a female-only football team, but you'll never get the ladies mixing with the men for football and stuff because men are better. Okay, it isn't just because of the visual spatial skills, it is because of their hormones as well, which we will talk about later. We're not on the hormone part yet. Okay, right. One of the sisters said that women are more organized. Yes, you are right. So the left side of the room is the man's and the right side of the room is the ladies. Better organized. Okay, so women are more likely to make shopping lists, whereas men will go into a supermarket and just get everything all ad hoc. And if women do give a shopping list to a man, he doesn't read it or he'll miss out items. In fact, my husband actually, he'll get every other shopping but the list I've given him. You just wonder, well, what did I give you the shopping list for? So, you know, they're not organized, but they don't need to be, do they? Women have to be organized because of the children. You've got to pack a bag for one of the children to take to school with the packed lunch in it. For the other one, you've got to pack the PE kit for school. For the other one, you've got to pack the reading book and the homework. These are all sort of home skills, aren't they? Okay. The other very important thing is women are more organized because they have better memory skills. Men are forgetful things, okay? So females, they have better memory skills. Men are more likely to forget things. Let's look at the differences. So females perform better than males in verbal-based episodic memory tasks as opposed to spatial-based memory tasks. Females access their memories faster than males. Females date them more precisely. They will be able to allocate that memory to a certain social situation, for example, like you wore that suit at so-and-so's wedding, so you're not going to wear that suit again, okay? They use more emotional terms when describing memories. Don't you remember? We saw flowers in the park and you were walking behind some red flowers when you said this to me, that kind of stuff. They are better at remembering past events than men, amazingly. So if your husband forgets your birthday or your anniversary, then there's a reason for that, girls. There's a reason for that. He probably doesn't remember, but that's because that's the way Allah has made him, okay? Now, some people argue with me, even though this is scientific facts, and those say, now, hang on a minute, in the Quran, it tells you that women are forgetful. Men tell me this, okay? We're mainly looking at this Quranic ayah and get 2 witnesses of your own men, and if there are not 2 men, then a man and 2 women, such as you choose for witnesses, so that if one of them errs, the other can remind her, okay? Now, who knows specifically in which 2 contexts only it mentions that there should be 2 female witnesses against 1 man? Come on, everybody.
Is it in case of accusation?
Nope. There is 2 specific things which men are good at, which is why this ayah is mentioned.
Is it when a woman has committed adultery or?
No, definitely not.
No?
No. Right. The first one is financial transactions. Okay. In a minute, I'm going to come up to the bit where men are better at maths. Well-known fact. Okay. Well-known fact. Men are better at maths on the whole, in general. Okay. So for that, you need 2 female witnesses because they're not very good at maths, or not as good as men at maths. The other one is a murder context. And women are more emotional. They may cry, they may worry, they may get anxious. They do get more anxious, by the way. Women get more anxious. That's another trait. Because they worry about the children. Oh, he may be ill and this one might be ill. Let's do this and let's take him to hospital. Yeah? Men are more emotionally stable than women. So with a murder, can you imagine? You know, I remember once I had a car accident and the policeman came, somebody called the policeman, and the policeman goes, right, ma'am, can I have your phone number, please? Allahu Alam, I could not recall my phone number. I didn't know what my phone number was because I was in a state of shock and anxiety and stress. I could not remember my phone number. I had to go down my phone and ring up the police officer so he could get my phone number. This is how it was. Couldn't remember my address. So it's true, when women are under traumatic circumstances, they lose their memory. They forget, they can't think straight. And we know that from, this is why men are our protectors. So it's only in those 2 contexts, okay? Okay, the other thing women in relation to children is that they are more cleaner. Women have better personal hygiene, okay? Because of cleaning the children's nappies, washing the clothes, cleaning the house, okay? Whereas men, they are more likely to leave the bathroom untidy, okay? Keep their nose hairs down the sink and not wash the bath afterwards, not flush the toilet afterwards, and all that kind of stuff, all those things that cause conflicts. On the whole, this is a natural instinct which women have got of keeping clean because of their babies and their children. Okay, right. Let us now look at another part of the brain which is much better in women, okay? And that is in talking, okay? Female's communication center is much more larger than a man's. So on the whole, women talk more and men talk far less. Women again talk more because of the children, because we are their prime teachers for teaching the children. Some men are more likely to bottle up their feelings, okay? However, I must say they are more likely to open up in the right environment, away from the place which causes them the mental stress. And if you talk far too much, because they are not multitasking, it gives them a headache, okay? So they need simple language, black and white, no sarcasm. They don't get sarcasm, not as well as women do, because they have less developed communication and social skills, okay? So women are far more likely to verbally abuse their husbands, nag, 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 nag. That's why women are make good naggers, if you like, okay? And the poor man doesn't even know what he's done wrong. Behind every angry woman stands a man who has absolutely no idea what he did wrong. The reason is women will just burst out all their words without simplifying the language, okay? The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam never heard any unpleasant thing from his wife Khadija, radiallahu anha, whenever she talked to him. And the Messenger of Allah said, the believer does not taunt others, he does not curse others, he does not use profanity, and he does not abuse others. Women are more likely to not just nag, but gossip and backbite more as well, okay? Men have less of a tendency to gossip because they have less communication and social skills, okay? Women, when they get angry, they are more likely to swear and come out with the most horrible things. They show their anger verbally because they've got those skills, okay? But we need to understand that hadiths also tell us that in hellfire, when Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was showed hellfire, it was mostly full of women. And when he asked the angel Jibril alayhi salam that why are there so many women in hellfire, he said because of their tongues. That's a well-known hadith. We cannot deny that. So for every swear word you give, a scorpion is created in your grave. Never utter mean words out of anger. Your anger will pass, but your mean words can scar a person for life. Okay? Now with men, when they get angry, what do they do instead of shouting out? Some may shout out here and there when it gets too much, but what are they more likely to do when they are angry? Any ideas?
They walk away.
Yes, so they will show it physically, okay? Because they can't take the mental stress. They really can't because of their less multitasking skills. Their soul gets hurt, yeah? In order to not decrease their self-worth, they get angry physically more, okay? More than verbal skills, and physical more because of their testosterone as well, which I will talk about later. So Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the powerful man is not the one who can wrestle, but the powerful man is the one who can control himself at the time of anger. Okay, right. So we've done communication. Socially, women are more advanced. They have a lot more friends. Men do not have best friends. Women have lots of friends. So men should not attack women when they want to go out with their friends. I see this a lot. They don't understand. What do you need to go to a party for? You already went last week. What do you need to go out for lunch with that girl for? What for? You only went a couple of days ago. That's because women are social creatures. We love communication. We like socializing. And yes, we have lots of friends as well, okay? sadly, because of this tendency of men not being so social, they are more likely then to suffer from keeping their emotions inside them and hence not getting the help if they need it, and then they suffer from mental health problems. So they do need friends as well, but they need obviously male friends where they can also offload their problems. So women also must not stop men going out with their friends. They need it. They really do need it. Likewise, people who are wired the same as them, who they can talk to as well. Okay? In a way, I know this is difficult for me to say, but it is true. You can't really be best friends with your own partners because they're made differently from us. Because you'll want to talk to them and they can't cope with too much talking. And you will want them to talk and they won't be talking too much with you because they're made differently. So you do, or both of you need your own respective friends, okay? Now with this thing about men not being able to talk so much, they let out their feelings and emotions more than through drugs, drinking, pornography, alcohol. So men are more likely to get into alcohol and drugs and all sorts of addictions, Xbox games and all the rest, because they don't express their emotions so well, okay? Whereas women do. They talk more about their feelings. So it has an impact on men that way if they don't have their own friends to talk to, okay? What is the prime reason, I already mentioned this already, why women have better communication skills?
Have to do with children.
The children,
Yeah.
okay? We have better communication skills because we are the first teachers of our children. And we're very good at languages and writing and reading, really, really good at it, okay? And, you know, we have to teach our children. With men, they are better at maths and science because their main role is to go out and provide for the family, okay? And this is the reason why men are much better at maths. Let's listen to this Quranic ayah.
ولهن مثل الذي عليهن بالمعروف وللرجال عليهن درجة والله عزيز حكيم.
Women have the same rights against men as men have against them, but men have a degree above them. Allah is all powerful, all wise. What we mean by this is that they are the providers. They are the financial support for the family in Islam. Okay? Right. The other thing that's better with women is because of their hormones. So now let us look at hormonal differences. We have more estrogen in us. That makes us a woman, okay? Allah has made us more emotional. Why? Why has Allah made us more emotional? That clue is right in that picture. Why?
Because of the children again.
Children, so we can feel sympathy for them. We can give them a big cuddle. Oh, you poor thing, okay? Allah has made us more emotional so we can feel the pain of the children. We can feel sympathy for them. This is why ladies cry more and men don't on the whole, okay? Because of mother skills. We need to look after them and their children. We need to have sympathy on them. We give birth to them and then we attach with them. We give them milk. We give them cuddles, okay? His mother may be educated or not, but she is the best teacher from whom we can learn how to show care and affection. And now I've put this up because it doesn't mean men shouldn't try and show it, because if you look at the example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says here in a hadith, I have never seen a man who was more compassionate to his family members than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's in Sahih Muslim. So it doesn't mean it can't happen, okay? But women are more inclined to do this so that they feel sorry for their poor sick children and they look after them when they're ill, stay up all night worried sick about them, This is why they have more anxiety as well, okay? And they pray for them as well, worry about them when they are ill, and they pray for them, okay? And we cannot expect this from men. We can't. So here it is. Can you play with him for a while? His battery has died and he's just on his phone because he's not inclined that way. Allah has made him to go out and do the living and not look after the children and that kind of stuff. So the baby's crying and he's taking no notice. He can't hear it anyway because it's got one ear in comparison to 3 from a woman. And on top of that, the emotion, the sympathy isn't as much as a woman. Women over-exaggerate more as well, don't they? Oh, you never guess what, he was really ill today and all this. This is all because of their increased emotional skills and things. So men are less sympathetic, okay, and are likely to show less concern when you are ill as well, by the way. So you may say to your husband when he gets in, I'm really ill, I've got a flu. And the next day he doesn't even ask you, oh, you've got a flu. Did you have a flu and are you better? He's not going to ask you because, you know, there's less sympathy there. Okay. Right. Okay. So we've done the functional differences, predominantly hardwired for understanding and building systems. This is a male brain, like building and plumbing and things. Value more for power, politics and competition. When listening, neurons on only one side of the brain are activated. In interpretation of whole sentences, men use one side of the brain. Female brain predominantly hardwired for empathy, value the development of altruistic reciprocal relationships, while listening, neurons on both sides of the brain are activated. And in interpretation, women use both sides of the brain. Okay? Right. The other thing with hormones is that women have a higher immunity in comparison to men. Men catch diseases more. If any of you have had a boy and a girl at birth, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So your boys, my boy was always ill as a child. He got viruses much more quicker. Okay. So why is that? Why do women have more immunity in comparison to men? The clue is in the picture, ladies. Look at that picture. The clue is in the picture.
Because of childbearing.
Because of children. If you're ill in bed, who's going to look after the children? That woman on the left has got cancer and she's going out with her child, taking him to school. The man with the same thing, with flu only, is in bed. We call it man flu, don't we? Okay. Look at the next picture. The kid is sick in bed. The dad is sick in bed, but the woman's got to keep going for the other children. Her immunity is higher because of her estrogen. That makes her heart stronger, which means, guess what? Women live longer. Well-known fact. It mentions widows in hadiths as women, not men. It doesn't talk about men being widows. It talks about women being widows, which means that men die quicker. And there is the hadith. Isn't that amazing? I just find that amazing that even in Islam, it talks about a woman being a widow. Okay? Amazing. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
So women have estrogen. What do men have, everybody? Which hormone do they have the most of?
Testosterone.
Testosterone. So they are the ones all the time looking out for you know what. 10 times more inclination towards having intimate relationships because they have 10 times more testosterone as women. Okay, so they do need their physical desires fulfilled, which is why it's mentioned in the Quran and in the Hadiths more about women fulfilling their desires than the other way around, because they have got that hormone testosterone. So they will eye up other ladies if you don't give them what they want. They will be into pornography more if you're not giving them what they want. They will be attracted visually, which is why at home women have to dress up nicely for their husbands. Otherwise, they will look elsewhere. Okay? And this is one of the Quranic ayahs in the Quran which is aimed at women for that reason.
نساؤكم حرث لكم فأتوا حرثكم أنى شئتم وقدموا لأنفسكم واتقوا الله واعلموا أنكم ملاقوه وبشر المؤمنين.
Your wives are a tilth for you, so approach your wives when and how you like, but take heed of your ultimate future and fear Allah, and know that you shall meet him and give good tidings to those who obey. That's in Surah Baqarah. So husband is compared to a farmer who sows the seeds while going to his tilth. Okay. And secondly, to produce children. Okay. As much as a good farmer respects and cherishes and protects and enjoys his farmland, so should a husband respect and cherish and protect the enjoyment of the company of his wife. And just as a farmer is pleased with his land producing good yield, so should a husband too be pleased and strive to generate offspring from the marital relationship with his wife. Okay, there's so many meanings to that. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is the reason why men are allowed up to 4 wives, okay, to fulfill their desires, and women aren't, because they do have more desires. And women live longer, which I've already explained. So there's going to be more women out there to balance the world. So let's listen to that.
وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَىٰ وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً.
Okay. So there you go. Polygamy is allowed in Islam. It was allowed in the previous religions, but Islam actually put a limit. Okay, we'll swiftly move on now. Because of the extra testosterone, they will have a lot more energy in their bodies and it needs to go out somewhere. Okay, so they like to exercise. There are more people who go to the gym out of the 2 species is the men. Okay, they've got more testosterone and they are more likely to engage in more physical games. Men are more likely to do martial arts or boxing, okay, which you don't usually find women doing boxing that much, to use up the excess testosterone. And this releases tension from the mind and body, which men do not release verbally. So they tend to go more towards physical activities, including the intimate act that I spoke about, and sports to get rid of any frustrations and worries. Sports uses up the excess adrenaline, which builds up when they are angry, which makes it great for working off aggression. Okay, men have more better gross motor skills because of their hunting and everything else, the providing, and women have more fine motor skills. Why? Why do women have more fine motor skills? Sewing, cooking, cleaning, okay? Well-known fact, women have more fine motor skills for clothes making and things like that, all again to do with the children. They have delicate fingers as well, don't they? So, and man can't thread needles and things or sewing. It's difficult for them, isn't it? Remember, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was an ideal man. He was actually a prophet, so he could do everything. We know he mended his own clothes and sewed. But on the whole, men are better at gross motor skills. Right, that is a summary that will be uploaded onto my YouTube channel, which is Sidra Naeem. And it's really useful, actually, if you could subscribe, because there are so many lectures I do not release anymore. I just quietly post them up on my YouTube channel. And everybody who's subscribed, which is free, gets a notification and they can keep up to date that way. Everything that I talked about is actually documented under journals, and this book is a very interesting one. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, John Gray. Okay, and that's a very good book which highlights things in more greater detail, but obviously I only had an hour today, so I couldn't really do any more. Right, I don't know, Huja, if we've got time for questions.
Carry on.
wonderful things to take away. So Jazakallah khairan for being here. Sister Sidra is still here, and I know she will be able maybe to answer a few questions, inshallah. It's not a question, but just to mention that Jazakallah khair, this topic is a must. It's quite needed because that will solve quite a lot of issues.
Yes.
Starting with myself, as you can notice behind me, I've got a very orange wall.
Yes.
And I painted it orange when my husband was not around, and that was last year.
Yes.
Until now, up until last week, he said, by the way, why have you painted the living room orange? And I was going to start a fight. But by me being here today, I felt like, oh, I understand why he's going on about this color. He's probably colorblind. Let's forget about that.
Yes, it's not just colorblind, but they're not into color.
They're not into colors.
Plain
So
white walls.
I understand that now. Therefore, I'll just keep my mouth zipped.
Yes, but we do need to negotiate.
This is
if there's a room exclusive for them, like a study where they work, they can have that plain white.
Yes, it
if
is.
There's a room where we are sitting in most of the time, like the kitchen, for example.
Yes.
Yes, we will want that colourful because we're going to be there, you see. So
wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair.
Right, anybody else? I don't know if there's any in the chat. I don't know if Khuja can check
Yes,
the chat.
I'll have a look.
Can we have your YouTube channel? I already did put that up just now on the slide. It's Sidra Naeem.
Very important. Very important here. A sister said usually men nagged more.
Not on the whole. Obviously, there will be deviations. Of course, there will be, because everybody's different. But on the whole, it's a well-known fact. You can Google it, everybody. Women moan more. Women are actually have got a bad name of being nags, are they? Not nag bags. You must have heard of that phrase, nag bags. So women nag more because they've got the verbal skills to nag, haven't they? The men, poor things, just sit there silent, soaking up all the nags, and then they feel they need to go out for a walk.
And somebody in the group said, I see men fair men.
Yes, I know that, but I keep saying on the whole. On the whole, in your own communities, you will find the women to be more fairer. It's a well-known fact, even within animals. It is.
That's right.
It's a well-known fact. And it's because of this natural tendency of men going out in the sunshine to work, and women are more of the attractive out of the two species. Like I explained earlier, we are the ones who have to attract the bees. So we're going to be fair and beautiful and soft and lovely. And we show our teeth more as well.
That's right.
I know there are brothers on here.
Firstly, Islam to everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone who's here. I actually logged in, mashallah. So I've been listening since then, mashallah. It's been very productive, alhamdulillah. I wanted to kind of listen in, and it's been very beneficial. So a lot of good things have been covered, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Usually the marriage resolution is sisters only, but I mean, as you know, from time to time we get brothers to join, and we like brothers to join as well, because these are the topics that it doesn't concern just the women. It concerns the brothers as well.
The topic I did was comparing both men and women, and it was equally important for men to also know the way women's brain works.
Very important. Yes.
A lot of men, they always say to me, oh, she talks far too much. The wife talks far too much, but there's a reason for that, isn't there?
But
Definitely.
it's got to hear the other side. It's got to give them a chance to have.
Yeah, they have to. Everybody basically needs to understand everybody else. And once they understand everybody else, then the marriage will be better. There'll be less conflict.
The communication is key.
Communication is very important, definitely. But men don't communicate that much, do they? That's the problem. I think the biggest one out of the ones I've covered is the communication that brings out the most conflicts, is the lack of communication.
That's right.
Men have their own ways of communicating. So the main thing is that telly's got to be switched off. They mustn't be doing anything else for you to communicate with them. They're not going to listen if the telly's on because they can't multitask. Switch off that telly and speak to them nicely. They will shut down if you nag them. Speak to them nicely, low voice, low tone, calm voice, showing less emotion, less anxiety, and then they will listen. They will. And give them time to process. That's the other thing I forgot to mention was men need more time to process their emotions.
I think if everybody could have a mentor, it would be very, very, an ideal world. Everybody needs a mentor in different stages of their marriage to keep things going, to keep things on an even keel.
Yes, I mean, there's many out there. You can get so many marriage counseling done. But often I think where the conflict is where one partner doesn't want it and one does. That's where
the thing is to get them to start doing that. Counseling is very, very good.
Yes.
And if people could make the effort to take that, it will help them enormously instead of ending in divorce.
Yes, definitely.
But both parties have to be on board.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm speaking from experience.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it says here that men interpret situations differently, and that is actually correct. Why are some women more like men? Now, that usually happens when the men are not dominant enough. So when men are not dominant enough in a relationship, then the woman has to step up and become the provider and all the rest, or mimics the man's role in a relationship. That's what normally happens. But if you're talking about LGBT and things like that, it could be a hormonal problem as well, where if you start looking like a man, that could be a hormonal problem. I don't know which one the sister meant. If she meant just generally in our roles, then that can happen if the husband is weak. And so then the woman then becomes like the man, and the man is a bit like the woman. You know, they say that the woman wears the trousers in that house. You know, they say, well, we know who wears the trousers in that house. It's usually because the man is weak. He can't speak up and the woman's sort of taken over. It can happen in toxic relationships, actually.
I have a question.
Okay.
Referring back to your lecture where you said a woman, her brain is the way it is because she's very organized and has to deal with so many things. When a woman is not like that, is it a hereditary thing then, when she can't do multitasking and can't do all those things?
Yes, because together with our genetics is also nurture as well, which is nature, which builds our personality. So it could either be because we haven't been exposed to being organized, or our families were not organized, so we have learnt from them. It could also be that there may be neurons missing in our brains as well. It could be because of that as well. There could be generally they are missing, so we are not. Together with the genetic traits which Allah gives us, we do have our own unique personalities as well that form us as a whole. So what I said to you was the ideals. It doesn't mean all women are organized, all women have good memories, you know, all women are multitasking. It doesn't mean that. But on the whole, generally, according to our statistics and the role which Allah has given us.
Okay.
I've got a question. By women sometimes get overwhelmed by the fact that they've got so much to do and taking over some certain responsibilities from men. So does it make that woman lose a feminine side?
Do you mean like when the woman starts going out and working and things like that?
Yeah, working and certain things that men should be doing. For instance, she's doing it, she's making the effort, she's doing 80% of what should be happening in her life together with her husband. She's tend to be the one doing it. So
yeah, I think that definitely there needs to be a balance. So you cannot have that, you know, in a marriage where women are doing everything and then the man's not pulling his weight. That's not on. It's got to be 50-50. Allah has made our roles 50-50. Okay, so a compatible relationship A strong marriage would be if we do our own roles properly. That doesn't mean that we don't overlap them sometimes. So a woman, for example, can work part-time as long as her children are catered for and she does do, you know, what she needs to do within the house. And likewise, a man can sometimes look after the children, but he also needs to go out and work and do his duty in providing for the family. But if the couple is married, then they really do need to pull their weight equally and have different duties on what they do and work it out. If it's a single mother, then that's different because then they have to do everything themselves. But that's why then there's a lot more pressure, isn't there, with single mothers as well?
Yes.
Right. Shall we stop then?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stop there. But thank you very much, everybody, for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Oh, thank you to you, because
we've had a great audience, haven't we, as well?
Yet again, you deliver a great topic and a great presentation, as usual. PowerPoint with all the colors, all the pictures, unforgettable.
And sense of humor as well, which is needed, isn't it, in marriages?
Excellent. And that, yeah, of course, that part is just the one that keeps everybody in. And Jazakallah Khair again is wonderful. Lots of information to understand why our men behave a certain way.
Yes.
By understanding that we have a leeway, we know why. Therefore, we will be more careful about how we react to it. So Jazakallah Khair for your time again. Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khairan, sisters, brothers who actually devoted the time to be here with us. And subhanallah, I just cannot thank you enough, and I cannot make enough du'as for you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you the best in Jannah. That's what I can do. And I'll keep remembering you in my du'as. You've been wonderful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.